You're listening to the Screen Team on 930 KWOC.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
To infinity and beyond!
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Please, what does it always mean? This Junior.
That's his name. Henry Jones Jr.
Like Indiana.
We named the dog Indiana.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I am your father.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Bond. James Bond.
And now the Screen Team on News Radio 930 KWOC. And we are back with the Screen Team. It's a brand new edition of the show here on Today's Talk 930 KWOC. The show is all brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us. 33 Productions. Make sure you follow Dr. Ben Adkins on Facebook. And Poplar Bluff Drywall. Give them a call at 714-3127. Poplar Bluff Drywall, we rock. Today being joined by the Screen Teamers, some original Screen Teamers, if you will. We got Sabrina J. and Matt Whitworth in the studio. How we doing today?
Doing great, man. It's a beautiful day out.
Beautiful day, and beautiful day to review some movies. And Matt, we've got your movies to review this week. What do we have in store?
First, we have Key Largo, a personal pick. This is a classic film from 1948 starring Humphrey Bogart and directed by a Missourian, John Huston, legendary director. We also have Muppets for our theatrical release. Mm-hmm. And we have 12 Years a Slave, recent winner of Best Picture for 2013.
Very good, man. I think this is going to be a strong show.
I don't.
If Sabrina doesn't say anything. So let's start off with your personal pick, Key Largo. Key
Largo, Montego, ooh.
You got the wrong song, man. But there is a song, Key Largo.
There is.
Just like Bogey and Bacall.
Yeah.
Doo-doo.
Wow.
Inspired by the movie.
Yeah. All right.
Really?
So did you choose Key Largo because of the song?
No.
Okay.
I'm a Bogart fan. Casablanca is one of my favorites. Mm-hmm. And this was one of the Bogart films I have not seen. So I thought, why not, throw it out there.
Right.
I love classic films, and anytime I get a chance to choose, I usually try to throw at least one classic film in the mix. So this was my pick. Bogart and Bacall, they're a married couple in real life, and they did 4 films together. This was one of the better ones.
And this was their last one they actually did together.
That's correct, yeah. Good call.
So where did they get the phrase, don't Bogart it?
I think that's just a word, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's got to be something. I want to know.
Look it up.
I'll get on that since I didn't watch the movie.
That's right, yeah. That could be your contribution.
We're busy here, all right?
Let the guys talk.
All right, so Key Largo, this is a film that's actually based on a play, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, and when you watch the film, it kind of has a play kind of feel to it. It's set in pretty much one location.
Exactly.
It's in a hotel in Key Largo, Florida, and Humphrey Bogart is kind of down in Florida visiting a former military friend's family, his wife and his, I guess, father, correct?
Correct, yeah. As a last wish for one of his fellow servicemen who died during the war, mm-hmm. he goes to Key Largo, Florida to visit the man's widow and the man's father, and to let him know about his acts of heroism in the war, and to let him know where he's buried, and just to kind of give him his final respects. And while he's there, there's an oncoming hurricane fast approaching, so he has to stay there. And at this time, they are only taking in a few other guests at the hotel as well, and just a small little handful of them. And as they turn out to be notorious gang led by Johnny Rocco, who's played by Edwin Gene Robinson, one of the great gangster actors of his time.
Yeah.
He's terrific. Yeah, before De Niro and Pesci and Pacino, it was Edwin G. Robinson
and James Cagney. It was Cagney and him, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And this actually got AFI's one of the top 50 villains on screen of all time for James Cagney. And he's very sinister in this film throughout. And, both he and Bogart, it's interesting to have both of them in the film at the same time because they're both so commanding. Yeah. They both have such a presence to them. So you have a really strong dynamic between a hero and a villain, and that always makes for a good story, or at least a good confrontation throughout the film. And Bogart is actually playing a man that is more, I wouldn't say a pacifist, but he's wanting to get past war. He's a veteran. He's looking just to carry on for the rest of his life, and he's being confronted by, this mobster.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, because when you see Humphrey Bogart movies, he's like a John Wayne kind of guy.
Exactly.
He's I'm Humphrey Bogart, get out of my way kind of thing. And this one, like you said, he's pacifist. He's a little standoffish. He's not the Humphrey Bogart that we're used to. Did that bother you at all? No,
it was cool to see the departure, because in the golden era, many of these actors were typecasted for a reason. Mm-hmm. It's not because people wanted to see it, but like the studios actually forced him into being typecasted many times. It wasn't until later that you got to see Jimmy Stewart do some darker roles. He was always playing the guy, Clarence, very ho-hum, very all-American. Yeah, exactly. He's the everyday man. And it wasn't until later that
Hitchcock got a hold of him and ruined him.
And ruined him. I don't know about that, but this is cool that before that even happened, they let Bogart kind of expand that. Now, towards the end of the movie, he becomes Bogart. He has a nice transformation into the hero, but he plays a different kind of hero. He's, much more of what's the word I'm looking for? A diplomat throughout the movie, where he's just trying to keep these people safe by, soothsaying, by kind of smooth talking the criminals.
Right. So, with that being said, you're a Humphrey Bogart fan. Out of the Humphrey Bogart movies you've seen, is this one of your favorites?
I would say so. Casablanca is still my favorite. Mm-hmm. I love The Big Sleep. Key Largo and The Big Sleep are about even for me. And that's another Bacall and Bogey film that they did together. It wasn't with John Huston, but it's another great film. If you have a chance, go out and check it out. Much more of a film noir than this one was. This is an odd kind of film for a gangster film, Because usually in mobster films, you see the rise to prominence, like in Godfather, or the racketing throughout the years, like in Goodfellas. This one, you see actually the decline of a famous mobster as he's leaving the country. He's being expedited. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic. And I like that Robinson's character could show vulnerability and still be a threat. There's a scene where the hurricane's coming in and he's freaking out because he can't control it. He's a control freak, like a lot of mob bosses are. And the captors, or the people that are being held captive, are actually taunting him during the time. Bogart had a great line like, "Go ahead, show it your gun, see if that'll chase it away. If not, shoot it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what good it does. Yeah. So it's pretty cool that he wasn't just the tough guy throughout the film. They both had their moments where they were on top, and they both had moments where they weren't.
It's true. Everything he says is true. Sabrina, did you like this movie? Oh, wait, you didn't see it.
I didn't watch it. I had things to do.
Yeah, like what?
Being a mom.
No.
Being a career woman.
No. When I was watching this...
being addicted to Game of Thrones.
No, that wasn't it either.
Oh, wait.
What were you watching when I was watching this? Once Upon a Time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Once Upon a Time.
I know it was one of those things
the
that I'm...
The ABC show that is so awesome.
Sickeningly addicted to. Hey, but I found an answer to my question.
Okay, your question was?
My question was, where did the term Bogart come from when referring to, hey, don't Bogart that? Are you gonna continue to Bogart that?
Right.
Okay. What does that mean?
So actually, it is from the drug culture. It is a reference to being caught with a stick of Mary Jane sticking out of your mouth and not sharing. And so it's become a reference. Seriously, that's the answer. It's become a reference to the image of Humphrey Bogart with a cigarette in his mouth.
Ah.
So it did come from Bogart.
It came from Bogart, the image of him always with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. It was referenced by the culture of those that...
By the hippies,
by
right?
By the hippies. Yeah, right. That's a good way to look at it. And it has thus it went from the drug culture to a modern culture, meaning to hoard, steal, or remain selfish with.
So is this actually in Merriam's dictionary now? Because there's a lot of words that weren't before, like dough or layeth the smacketh down. Those are now in the dictionary.
So is Bogart now a term? All I can tell you is that I got this from a app called Answer Bag.
Answer Bag.
All right. Yeah. Interesting.
Means to steal.
I'm going to bring Bogarting back. I'm bringing it back.
Bring it back.
All right, it's Key Largo. You can find it on DVD. Coming up, we're going to review the best picture of 2013, 12 Years a Slave. That's next on Today's Talk, 930 KWOC.